In this activity, we're going to practice reading a book today. We're going to work on the word come. You just practice this word, C-O-M-E, come. And we're also going to use a reading strategy to read this book the right way. So what you're going to need is this book, I Want to Come, and your crayons. Okay, so let's start by writing our name at the top of the book. It's going to go into your book box, so if it happens to get lost, we can see whose it is and put it back in the right spot. Okay. Our reading strategy that we're going to practice today is look at the picture. That's step one. If we get stuck on a word, we're going to look at the picture and we're going to think, what makes sense, and then we'll check the first letter of that word. And by doing all three of these things, it'll help us figure out that tough word. So if we get stuck, we're going to look at the picture, what makes sense, check the first letter. Okay. Let's go back to our book here. I want to come. You read it. How many words are in the title? Words. Count the words. Can you use your fingers to show how many words? Let's see if you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you put up 4 fingers, you're right. I want to come. 4 words. So on the front cover, it's so important to look at pictures. Okay. As I look here, I see trees, bushes, a swing set, and a pond. It kind of reminds me of a park almost, a park. When I think about park, I hear the first sound is p, p, p. So if I come across this picture again and I see a word that has a p, p, p at the beginning, a p, p, I have a feeling that word might be park. Let's see. Okay, what we're going to do is go through, look at each picture, think what makes sense, check the first letter. Okay, so we look at this picture. What do you see here in this picture? Tell yourself, what do you see? What would be the first sound of what you see? Can you find a word down below that would make sense with what you see? Can you point to it? I see a pool here, a pool. If you said pool, you're right. P, 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 pool is the first sound. I know P says P. If you pointed to a word that starts with P, it would be right here. This word is pool. P, ooh. I know O says oo or This word is 100% pool. So when I'm reading and I get stuck, just look at the picture and think, p, 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 that's a pool. P. That word is pool. Oh, we just talked about this. This was the picture from the front cover. Trees, bushes, a swing set, and a pond. That reminded me of a park. A park, because when I go to a park, I see trees, bushes, a swing set, and a pond. Park. What do you hear at the beginning of park? Can you find a word down below that would make sense with what you're saying right now? If you pointed to this word right here, you are right. P, p, P for park. That makes sense. All right, good job. Let's keep on looking. Okay, next picture. A giraffe. Looks like a gate where maybe you would give a ticket or buy a ticket to go see the giraffe. Where would you go to see a giraffe? Can you listen for the first sound and what you think it is and try to find a word down below that matches? Let's turn the page. I've seen this place before. This is where I go when a movie comes out. I've seen a place that has stars and a big door, and there's a person here at a booth, and you buy a ticket. When I go to see the movie theater, movie theater. I hear M. I'm gonna find a word down below that would start with M. That might help me. Oh, I found one right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, so it's not that long of a word. Movie theater is really long. In theater, I hear there's TH here, but I know this is the, because we've learned this word, but there's no other word with TH, so it's not theater, it's just movie, but I see an S at the end. Movies. Interesting, cool, that makes sense. Okay, let's see if you can figure this one out. Look at the picture. What makes sense? Check the first letter. I see a door with a big smile and a tooth. I know that I go to a place to have my teeth checked, and they check my smile and make sure it's nice and bright and white and there's no cavities. And if I have a problem with my tooth, I go to the dentist. Try to see if you can make sense of a word down below. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, as I was looking on every single page, I saw words that were repeating. If I go back through, I see this word. Hey, I know this word. Come. We just worked on this. Come. You know that word. What's that word? To. And what's this word here? T-H-E. The. Come to the. Let's see if it's on the next page. Oh, there it is. Come to the. You read it. Let's flip. Read it. These words are all repeating. These are our repeating words. So these are words that we should be reading with good fluency. We know these words. Okay, we just practiced come, to, and the are on our word wall. So what I want you to do is pick out a crayon color of your choice. And I want you to go through, and on every page, I want you to circle the word come, because that's the word that we're working on today. And every time you circle it, spell it and say it. C-O-M-E, come. C-O-M-E, come. C-O-M-E, come. C-O-M-E, come. C-O-M-E, come. Excellent job. Okay. Now that we've circled the word come, because that's the word that we're practicing today, we're working on come, you know to and the, and our strategy when you get to that last word, we're going to look at the picture, think what makes sense, check the first letter. Okay, let's go back through. You can go get 3 things from the pink basket to help you read if you would like. Okay, maybe you want to use these 3 things today. Set the first 2 off to the side. You're only using 1. Okay, I'll help you with the title because this is a tough word, but then after I read it, I want you to read it. I want to come. You read it. Nice job. Okay, you ready? You're gonna go through, I'll be your tracker for you, I'm gonna help you, but I want you to read this whole book by yourself 3 times. And if you get stuck, remember, your strategy is to look at the picture, what makes sense, check the first letter. Okay, come, ready? Make sure you have good fluency. Don't read too fast or too slow. It's just right. Good job. Come. Don't forget that word. Now that you've read it, why don't you tell yourself really quickly all the places that were in that book? Try to list them. Try to think of all those places. Good. Now let's go back through, pick out your second thing that you're going to read with, that you're going to use as your tracker. Remember, come, C-O-M-E, come. Okay, I want you to read it on your own whenever you're ready. You should be reading at the speed that my finger is moving. So if you're doing this, you're going too fast. Great job. Before we go through one more time, tell yourself all the places that were in the book, okay? Try to list them. Use your fingers. Okay, we're going to go through one last time. I want you to read it with good fluency, good tracking. Great job. Okay, tell yourself one more time, close up your book, don't look at it. Try to list all the places that you read in the book. Tell yourself. Okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to list them and I'm going to see if yours and mine match. All right, so I remember there was a pool. They went to the pool. They went to the park. They went to the zoo. Went to the movies. Pool, park, zoo, movies. They went to the dentist. Pool, park, zoo, movies, dentist. Okay, I'm going to go through now. I'm going to read it to you. You can follow along, but I'm going to show you what good reading should sound and look like. I want to come. I'm actually just going to use my finger. I want to come. Along the way, we'll see if I was right with the places that I remembered. Come to the pool. I did say pool. Come to the park. I said park. Come to the zoo. I said zoo. I said zoo, pool, park. Come to the movies. I also said movies. I didn't say movie theater. I said movies. Come to the dentist. And dentist was the last place that I said. Awesome. If you got all of those right, kiss your brain. You did a great job. Okay, you're going to be reading this book every time you go to your book box. And this word is come. What's the word? Come. Good job. Remember, words that you know on the word wall, you should be reading those with good fluency. If you get to the last word and it's a tricky word, you're going to use the strategy. Look at the picture. Think what makes sense. Check the first letter. Pool. Pool. That makes sense. Pool with the word pool. great. You can put all of these things away, clean up. You could even go to your book box and start to read all of your books again, because that's how you're going to get to be a better reader. And as you're reading each book and you finish, try telling yourself all the things that you read about in the book. Okay? Good readers have to remember what they're reading. Okay? Nice job today. We worked on come. We did a lot of stuff. You can also color this if you have a few extra minutes.